I'll bring some information on that next time. Sorry I wasn't able to do that, but I've been spending a lot of time in hospitals here. But I will bring that.
When is the work session time?
She should have that information over there.
Well, with Chairman Flangus' schedule being up in the air, we probably should wait.
Okay, well, you can let us know, and I'll make sure everybody finds out. We all have computers there.
Working outside. Sorry, I got carried away. It's such a nice day.
Yeah. So, all right, is there anything else that you'd like to add to the agenda? Okay. All right.
Oh, I have a question though. If we do want to place something on the agenda
It's got to be
and it
done
involves,
10 days ahead of time.
No, not that far. No, not that
How far does it have to be now?
I've been posting the Planning Commission agenda the preceding Friday. So if I have the agenda by that Wednesday, so basically a week in advance, if I have it by then, you can call me,
okay.
email.
When did it
me.
change from 10 days to 7?
When I was willing to wait longer. Yeah.
Okay.
The
That's fine.
statute only
I
requires
think
3,
a week's long enough.
and I had a lot of requests to wait longer. So.
All right, that's fine.
Okay.
Okay, don't know more items that I think we can. Okay, then we're on number 7, public comment. I don't think I have to reread all that information as we did before. I like to do that just so we're clear first time. But George, do you have any other public comments?
I do. Mr. Chairman, in your packet, you should have a running total of home occupation and special use permits that you've done at least for the year. The reason I tell you that is I've yet to see Jim Walworth and his business Scottwater on the list. I go to the county, he's not on that list. Recently I found out where his truck is parked, and it's parked out in the county. But the zoning is different. So I don't know where he does or doesn't do business. He can do business. I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about him paying the fees as a government employee, as a person who was in the office enforcing rules and regulations on everybody else. They need to pay the same. Now, the reason I tell you that is last meeting you approved the home occupation for Patrick Christiansen. That brought in $955 in his business license fee alone. That's a lot of money. That's way too much money. But if that poor gentleman has to do it for home occupation, or this young lady here, why not someone who was in office and a government employee? Selective enforcement has got to stop.
I might add, George, that we don't...
Wait a minute. If you don't mind, let me finish because
Okay.
you keep taking my time and she cuts me off.
No, I'll give you this.
This woman is mean. Mr. Chairman, I brought up the abandonment of the Campton Street and Great Basin Boulevard area near the Copper Queen. And the reason I'm concerned about that is recently at a city council meeting it was learned that on the City Pig Winter Road they encroached and laid asphalt on private property. If we have rules and regulations, if we have procedures, we need to follow them. Now, we've created a mess on Winter Road. It's going to be interesting to see what those private landowners are going to say about someone just throwing down a city street or a part of a city street on their property. Who was the engineer? Who surveyed it? Who approved it? You folks are part of that. We either have rules and regulations or we don't. That's all I have at this time, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
You're very welcome, George. And I will go up there and look at Winter Road myself. But it would also be helpful to know if those people have any complaints. We haven't heard any.
Now, that's why they have old George here.
Well, you do a good job, George. Don't worry.
Well, I'm waiting for you to do a better job.
Well, we're trying.
That's why I'm here.
We can. We're all volunteers here, you know.
So am I.
Okay. All right, having no other public comments.
I have a.
Oh, you do? Yes. All right, go ahead. Randy Barney speaking.
In case you guys haven't heard, KDSS is about to start a summer project for the community, advertising oriented, of course, but also family oriented. They are going to be having 3 events this summer called First Friday. This coming Friday, starting May, June, excluding the 4th of July, and August included. They're going to be having a First Friday event, welcoming all businesses to come and advertise and participate in a carnival-oriented event. The first one will be over here by the jailhouse. It'll be the jailhouse parking lot. It'll be next to Untamed Options and KDSS in that parking lot. And I'll be taking part in all 3 of those events. So my bounce house will be included, provided I'm licensed, of course. But the second one will be June 6th behind the Hotel Nevada, and the third will be held at the train station.
What was the first one?
August. The first one is May 3rd.
May
Or 2nd? The first Friday of May.
May 2nd.
2nd, thank you.
Okay, second.
So I'll have all that I can carry down there, and we're going to have a variety of games that we're all going to put together, and have everybody welcome to bring their kids down and have snacks and food. So anybody interested in advertising can contact KDSS and take part. And that's it. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
I have some questions. If anybody knows the answers. Not on the agenda, but I think you can ask questions, can I?
Sure.
Well, I think so, normally.
Public comment?
Normally,
No.
you can speak.
Concerning this issue with Cannon Street and the Pentars and the unpaved section out there, I've been told, and since you're the planning commission, you might know, that the problem of why that street isn't paved is because the developer took advantage of laws at the time which allowed him to put in one house at a time after another, rather than putting it in there as a subdivision, which event I understand. That's why I'm asking. He would have had to have paved at least the half of the street that he has put that on, because he's about to put the gutter in there.
Right.
And then if he ever developed the other half across the street, he would have to have paid that one as well. Is that correct?
Probably. We didn't really get the subdivision laws revised until about 2007 or 8. And it was quite a while. It was a real struggle to get them done, too.
Yeah. It's been suggested that, that being the case, perhaps a remedy, at least in terms of getting the street paved. This has nothing to do with Cannon Street. That's right. Cannon Street behind it, but in terms of paving their street, the city has in times past, when that happened, I'm also told, and please correct me if I'm wrong, actually got stuck in a situation where they wound up paving the entire street. I've heard some citizens suggest that it might not be a bad idea if those citizens up there were inclined to do so, to create a special improvement district, in which event, you know, it would be suggested that the city would pay for half the cost of putting in pavement on the street, and they would pick up the other half of that cost. Cost, I'm told, would probably run no more than $130,000,
Right.
so
It's getting more
65
expensive.
of them. Yeah, and I think there are 5 or 6 houses there, so over a period of time, if they created that special improvement district, about $1,000 a year for a period of 6 years, or however they want to prorate. Do you think, I guess I can't ask you if you think that would be an appropriate remedy, but that's been suggested and tossed out there.
Well, I would suggest we contact those people.
Yeah, you'd
See
have
if
to
they're-
contact those
see
people
if
if
they're
they'd be
willing to
interested.
pay for it.
Obviously, it would have to be agendized for the city to be able to look at that in the budget as well. And we've already got the budget meeting tomorrow morning, so it's probably too late to do anything this year. But
We've usually found that people are willing to go for improvements when the whole town pays for it.
yeah,
But when they have to pay for it, it's a
Right.
tougher road to go.
yeah. But if they're that anxious to have pavement there, and as I understand it, when they bought those homes, they were also told that it was the responsibility of the builder to put them in, or that the city
Right.
was never planning on paving that street. It was not in the city plans.
Now, we had so much trouble with that, especially out there when we were on the regional plan commission with the Blue Diamond area out there, that we finally had a
Subdivision ordinance.
subdivision ordinance, but I'm not sure if it was passed on a county level, but it was passed here in the city. So we do have a subdivision ordinance here in the city.
Yeah.
And I think it was great that we did that simply because, it was necessary to hold these builders to the total line on paving streets and that.
So my compassion for them is somewhat waned since I've been told that, they were advised when they bought those homes that the city was not planning on paving those streets. Nevertheless, it's still a mess, and it doesn't to me make a lot of sense to have curb and gutter there on unpaved streets.
Yeah, and people in Blue Diamond were willing to go without even basic paving of the streets. Even just grading in the streets.
Yeah.
But then after they got in their homes, they all came down to the Regional Planning Commission in a group because they were very dissatisfied with what they had previously agreed to.
Yeah. and that's firstly what we have here.
So it's always better, I think, to just have the ordinance in place and tell them this is what you have to do.
I will suggest then to the Pentires that they consider creating that special improvement district or contacting their neighbors to see if the neighbors are interested in creating a special improvement district to see if that would be something of interest to them, and then agendize that for the city to see if they want to go 50-50 to get that road paved. But like I said, my compassion for them has somewhat waned since I've been told that they were advised before they bought those homes that the city was not going to pave that street.
So would you like to put this item on our agenda too, as well as yours?
Well, I think it would be prudent first to talk to Pentars and see if they want to spearhead this with their neighbors up there, to see if they're even interested in such a possibility. And if they are, then it would be appropriate, I think, to agendize it here and also at City Council.
That would make it more formal.
Correct, yes.
This way
And that does nothing to speak to the issue of Cannon Street behind them. That's it's not even addressed. They're just listening to them complain that they're paying umpteen thousands of dollars for city services and property taxes, but then if they knew that they weren't going to get that paid when they moved in there, I don't feel quite so sorry for them. And still in all,
that probably was the case, because I know that's happened up in the time where people moved in, and then they expected other things to happen after they moved in.
And they didn't happen.
Right? I mean,
I
you
have
probably
some
know about that.
I know all about it.
Why don't you expound on it?
I have a home in Blue Diamond.
Yeah, I know you do.
So
Why don't you explain to him what some of the people what they expected and what they got?
the people who bought into phase one were told that the property was going to be dedicated to the county, and the county was going to take over road maintenance, but the county was just delaying.
I'm surprised.
And so it's been many, many years now, 17 years, 16 years. And of course the county had no intention of taking over the property. And I don't know if it was an out-and-out misrepresentation or just confusion, but the county does not take on new roads. I mean, it's just as simple as that. They just don't have the facilities to maintain new roads. And so phase two of the development, I think they were more accurately advised that they needed to pay for road maintenance in addition to their lot price. And they had to pay on a monthly basis, and I think that's the way that's happened. But the folks in phase one, a lot of them just revolted. And when they were advised later, you got to pay road maintenance, a lot of those homeowners said absolutely not. When we bought this place, we were told the county was going to maintain this road. Now all of a sudden the county's not going to maintain the road. So there was somewhat of a revolt among the phase one homeowners there. And it's unfortunate. And that remains the way it is. So those of us in phase one have backhoes and equipment, and we maintain the road ourselves.
Right.
That's the way it works.
I do remember when the county came in, they told them they were not going to maintain those roads. I remember that.
Unfortunately, that wasn't the message that made it through the home buyers.
But they were very clear on that they were not going to maintain those roads. That was up to the people in that subdivision.
Well, thank you for the clarification on those issues. And I will get a hold of Pentars and see if they would be interested in pursuing that with their neighbors. And if they are, then we'll agendize it.
Okay. All right. Is there any other comments? Okay. I guess we're coming up on adjournment. The meeting may be adjourned by appropriate motion of the Planning Commission. Is there any motions to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Okay. Second.